Well, good morning. Welcome to Debbie's Back Porch. I haven't posted in a while. I'm sorry. I'm gardening, and so I'm not cooking much. But I did take the camera with me out to the garden a couple of days ago to start pruning my baby tomato plants. I start pruning very young to prevent disease and to maybe not increase the yield, but make the tomatoes bigger. So give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and let's get to the garden. I thought I would show you this, even though it's really hard to video in my garden. This is the only tomato plant I have that is big enough yet to really start pruning. But I pruned this one this morning and tied it up. And you can see, if all the strings don't run together for you, that I have tied it up to the top trellis, the conduit that runs across the top. Right now I only have one string going up and back down. I'll put another one on when it cools off a little bit. It's starting to get warm. But I started pruning this one, and I always tell folks to prune anything that's about 18 inches up. So you can see that all the leaves are gone down that far. And that, I kind of wanted to show you this, and I don't know if you can see it. Sorry, I don't have my camera stand. But if you can see, this is the branch that was on here. Hope you can see that. This is the sucker. Instead of cutting off the sucker, I cut off the main branch because you see it's going down. I should just go ahead and pull it off. And that way I'm training them to go up and off the ground. Now, I trimmed this one. Yeah, I know. The shadow makes it hard to see. But I started pruning this one. I cut just a little bit off the bottom. You can see I cut just a couple. And I'm starting it to train upwards. And you can see I have run a couple of braces up and over. Now the purpose for doing this is I used to have cages that would fall over, and what I do now is in at least two places I run a string from the bottom rung of the cage up and over and then back down. And that puts like an equal pressure on both sides so that when the weight from the tomatoes start to lean on the cages, it will equalize itself by the braces that I've run up to the trellis. I'm doing the same thing here. I've got it up and over, and then I tie it to each rung of the cage, and that way when there's weight to one side or the other, then the string equalizes that pressure and keeps the cage from falling over. You can see I also have a piece of conduit run down through there to add the extra strength and stability. So when I post in the group, trim it up to 18 inches, that's what I mean. And the reason that I do that is to keep the splash from the ground, even though I've got the ground covered pretty heavily with pine needles, pine straw. The splash from when it rains, or even when I water, because I water on the ground, it won't splash up on the leaves, and hopefully this will keep blight from starting. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to cut that one off too. Next trip. Okay.